Hi, I'm Joe Lewandowski with Colorado Parks and Wildlife here in Durango. We're out at Pastorius Reservoir on a beautiful blue sky day, nice and cold, and we're going to talk a little bit about ice safety and ice fishing today. The first thing you want to look for is water frozen along the edge of the pond or the lake where you're going. If there's open water on the edge, you really don't want to go through there onto the ice because the ice isn't thick enough. Take a good look at the lake. It's usually you can tell if the ice is good and solid. Walk out on it a little bit, test it, but look for rotten spots of the ice, weak spots, water sitting on top of the ice. Some equipment to bring with you. Bring a throw bag with a rope, pretty much like people do around here for river rafting and kayaking. It's a good safety tool to have. Always go with someone else, so if someone falls through, there's someone there to help you and call for help. Also bring a life preserver. If you do happen to fall in, try to stay calm, try to move slowly towards where the ice is solid, pull yourself up and crawl out on the ice slowly.
These are yak tracks. They fit over your boots, and just a little insurance so that when you're walking on the ice you don't slip. These you put around your neck, and if you would happen to fall through the ice and nobody can get to you or whatever, or you don't get any help, then you can pull yourself out with these. I've got a whistle if you would happen to fall through the ice and needed help or whatever, then it's a good thing to have. I normally carry a safety rope with us too, so that if the ice is bad, then you can throw somebody a rope and pull them out. I have a manual auger here, which works well, but it does take a little bit of muscle. So over here, we've got a brand new Eskimo power auger. And this makes it a lot easier.
Mike, do you always hear that cracking and the shifting of the ice?
It's been real cold, and that's actually a good sign, because that means that the ice is actually expanding. The ice is actually getting thicker. What we're going to be fishing for here is our panfish, bluegills, crappie. We might catch a bass, and then there's a lot of trout in this lake. But usually the action's a little bit faster on the panfish. Most of these lures, particularly the smaller ones, we use with about 2-pound test. Few of the larger ones will go to 4-pound. But in this lake, I never use over 4-pound test. But you can catch most any of the species here in these lakes through the ice. This is the bottom right here. Okay. That's the bottom, that's the lure. Now, when I jig it up and down, you can see the lure go up. But what'll happen is you'll attract a whole school. And when the school comes in, then the action gets pretty fast. But right now we've got something flashy on there to attract their attention. The bite for panfish can be very subtle. So I like to use a little float. Some people use what to call a spring bobber on the end of their rod. And sometimes they'll hit it pretty hard, but very often it's very subtle. So we use very light rods. Generally, the very best time to fish, of course, is early morning, and then in the evening, late afternoon till just about dark. In the last hour and a half before dark, it's generally really good. This is a trout, I think. I'll get tangled up in that darn transducer. Yep, trout.
You need a Colorado fishing license if you're going to fish in the waters of Colorado. Starting March 1st, you can buy an annual license, and that's good for 12 months. The money you spend on a fishing license goes to stock rivers and lakes all throughout Colorado and throughout the year to keep fishing good.
This is very typical of what we catch, sometimes a lot bigger. Occasionally there'll be a fairly large fish come out of here. This one was just put in last fall, and so he hasn't really really gotten as fat as what most of them are. But you know, just a typical hatchery fish, and once they've been in here for a year, they get really fat and really strong.
If you're looking to go ice fishing in southwest Colorado, this is a great place, Pastorius Reservoir. It's close to Durango, just a few miles out of town. You can also go up to Molus Lake up on the pass, Vallecito Reservoir. Echo Lake over by Pagosa Springs is also a good spot.
It's a good family sport. I used to bring my kids out here, and we'd set up a stove on a table and have stew and hot chocolate and so on. The kids really enjoyed it, and we usually caught a lot of fish.